Welcome back to Recap Lounge. Today we will discuss the suspense thriller, Butterfly on a Wheel. Spoilers ahead. The film revolves around a wealthy couple whose daughter is kidnapped by a manipulative criminal. The kidnapper demands that the couple carry out a series of tasks, and if they fail, they will never see their daughter again. As the couple struggles to meet the kidnapper's demands, they begin to question each other's motives and loyalty. The movie is a suspenseful exploration of the lengths to which people will go to protect their loved ones and the consequences of their actions. Hit the like button and subscribe for more videos. Enjoy and take care. The movie opens with Neil, who surprises his wife Abby on her birthday. Their loving family is evident as they exchange hugs and kisses. The following day, before leaving for work, Neil shares a tender moment with his wife. On his way to work, he is spied upon by a man named Tom. Neil is congratulated by his boss for his outstanding work, which will crush their competition. His boss then invites him to the huddle room, revealing that he has big plans for Neil. Abby calls the office and asks for Neil, but the secretary Judy informs her that he is in a meeting with his boss. Abby inquires if the meeting is about his promotion and their upcoming weekend getaway, to which Judy confirms. That evening, they celebrate her birthday and Abby asks Neil if he can stay the weekend, but he explains that his boss has invited him and can't ditch on his boss, which Abby understands. The next morning, the babysitter arrives to watch their daughter. Neil prepares to go to his boss's house for the getaway, while Abby will visit her friend for the day. The couple shares a tender moment with their daughter before bidding farewell. While driving, Neil expresses uncertainty about finding the location as it's in the middle of nowhere. Suddenly, Tom appears at the back of the car, pointing a gun at them, causing them to panic and almost crash. Tom hands a phone to Abby, revealing that their daughter Sophie is being held hostage by the babysitter. Neil asks Tom how much he wants, to which Tom responds with $142,000, the exact amount left in their bank account. When they reach the bank, Tom gives a briefcase to Abby and threatens Neil not to do anything funny, as it will result in them never seeing their daughter again. Meanwhile, Sophie hides under the bed while the babysitter looks for her. As the couple enters the bank, Neil tries to call the police, but Abby stops him, insisting that they should comply with the kidnapper's demands. Under pressure, Neil becomes agitated and yells at the teller to hurry up while withdrawing the money. Abby calms him down and instructs him to go back to the car while she retrieves the cash. When Abby returns, Tom demands their wallets and purse, to which Abby replies that it's all the money they have left. The situation becomes more dire as the couple becomes increasingly helpless, not knowing what to do next. Tom's twisted game continues as he burns the couple's money and throws it into the river. In an expensive restaurant, the couple confronts Tom about his motives. He reveals that he did it to test if parents would do anything for their children. Tom orders an expensive steak and demands that the couple comes up with the $300 to pay for the bill, telling them to make haste, giving them only 15 minutes. The couple frantically tries to find money, but strangers ignore their pleas for help. Abby eventually pawns her bracelet, but it only fetches $200. Neil adds his watch to the pawned items to make the amount, and the couple barely makes it back in time to pay the bill. As Neil pays the bill, Tom hands Abby a document and tells her to deliver it alone. Despite Neil's objections, Tom stops him from going with her. The couple is left wondering what the document contains and what Tom's ultimate plan is. Abby insists that she can handle the task by herself. Tom parks his car on top of a building across the office of Neil's employer's main competitor. Tom hands Neil a document that contains evidence of Neil hacking corporate accounts. The original copy is with Abby, who is now at the competitor's office to deliver it. Tom warns Neil that if the document is leaked, it will ruin Neil's career and his company's reputation. To stop Abby, Tom gives Neil the phone to call her, but Abby refuses to comply, citing that she is doing it for Sophie. Neil screams as Abby hands the documents over to the competitor. While waiting for Abby, Tom makes a call to check on Sophie's welfare. He speaks with the babysitter after dialing and stating 827 over the phone. Neil requests to speak with his daughter, but Tom hangs up before he can. Later, Tom has to leave the couple to pick something up. Neil confronts Abby about delivering the document, leading to a fight between the couple. Abby finds Tom's phone inside the car, and Neil notes down the last dialed number. Tom arrives and hands them a package, informing them that they have 1 hour to deliver it. At the train station, Neil calls the number, which he believes Tom called, and confirms the location is a hotel. He informs Abby that it may be their only chance to save their daughter, so they ride a cab to the hotel. Upon arrival, Neil opens the package that Tom asked him to deliver, only to find it empty. Abby asks the front desk, who reveals that their daughter and the babysitter checked in. Abby distracts the cleaner while Neil finds the key card for room 827. They enter the room, but their daughter is not there, although Neil discovers her stuffed toy. Tom is waiting there and confronts Neil, asking him how it feels to be played. The tension escalates as Abby charges at Tom, but he responds by slapping her. In an act of punishment, Tom gives Abby a stunning dress and orders her to wear it. Neil, infuriated, punches Tom. Tom then threatens to harm their daughter, and Abby reluctantly agrees to comply with his demands. Tom forces Abby to put on the dress, while Neil is forced to watch helplessly. Tom throws a glass of scotch in Neil's face and orders him to be at a certain location at 8 o'clock or he will never see his wife and daughter again. Despite Neil's inquiries about the location, Tom refused to provide any information and leaves with Abby. Neil panics, searching for any clues in the room, but to no avail. With his hope shattered, he decides to go to the police. Neil approaches a police officer and informs him that his wife and daughter have been kidnapped by a psychopath. However, the officer does not believe Neil's story because his wife had visited the station previously and claimed that Neil fabricated stories to keep her from leaving him. Neil suggests that Tom may have forced his wife to make such statements. Despite this, the officer remains unconvinced due to Neil's apparent smell of alcohol. He advises Neil to go home to sober up and accept the situation. Later on, Neil is seen crying outside when he spots his car and rushes to it. His wife emerges from the car and embraces him. Abby reassures Neil that Tom did not harm her and forced her to lie to the police. When Neil questions Tom about where he is taking them, Tom simply responds that they are going to his boss's house. Tom brings Neil to a house and poses a challenging question to him: how far he would go to save his family. Neil confidently states that he would do whatever it takes to protect them. Tom then hands Neil a gun and instructs him to kill the person inside the house. Neil is given a time limit of 10 minutes and if he fails, he will never see his daughter again. Upon entering the house, Neil discovers that the person he is supposed to kill is Judy, the secretary. She assumes that Neil had trouble locating the place and proceeds to kiss him, leaving Neil bewildered. The plot thickens as it is revealed that Neil has been having an affair with Judy for months and his getaway was with Judy. Neil sees a picture of Tom and inquires about him. Judy explains that he is her husband and is currently on a hunting trip, which is why they can spend the weekend together. However, Neil shares that Tom has his daughter because he is aware of their affair. Neil becomes desperate and takes out the gun, trying to kill Judy because Tom will hurt his daughter if he doesn't comply. He hesitates as he attempts to shoot her, giving Tom the opportunity to enter the room and urges Neil to pull the trigger. Despite his reluctance, Neil eventually shoots Judy with the gun, which was surprisingly empty. Tom confronts Neil about his infidelity with his wife and violently beats him down. He expresses the pain and betrayal that Neil and Judy have caused him. The tension escalates when Tom is about to take Neil's life. Judy intervenes, preventing the situation from escalating further. Shortly after, Neil inquires about his daughter's whereabouts, and Tom informs him that she is safe at home. Neil hurries back to his car with Abby, and they drive away. Abby is curious about what happened and why she saw Judy at the window. Neil chooses to lie and tells Abby that Judy had an affair with his boss, leading Tom to mistake him for the lover. The couple then rushes back to their house, where Neil discovers his daughter sound asleep. Relieved that his daughter is safe, Neil asks her if the babysitter hurt her, and Sophie responds that they played hide and seek. As Neil comes down the stairs, Abby says that she knows and that Sophie never left the house. Abby comes clean by admitting that she was part of the setup and that she knows about Neil's affair with Judy. Abby confesses that she did it because she had been suffering for months after discovering that Neil was cheating on her. Neil is understandably confused and asks why Abby would do such a thing. Abby explains that she wanted Neil to understand the pain she had been going through and connived with Tom to make it happen. Devastated, Neil points out that Abby ruined everything they had worked for. Abby reveals that the money Tom burned was fake and the document she handed to his company's competitor was blank. She did it out of pain and a weird desire to share her feelings with him. Even if it was just for one day, to feel despair, loss and abandonment as she utters the question, "Who breaks a butterfly on a wheel?" Claiming their marriage is over by saying she does. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, please hit the like button and subscribe for more.